Which one do you want to talk about first? It doesn't matter to me.
Going with the one I don't care about.
I don't feel like this
NXT.
is a hard one to make predictions for, so
I
let's
don't
get
think so.
into that.
Okay, so tag title match, which is Inamura and Briggs against Fraxium. I'm going to take Fraxium because we just mentioned it.
Very confident in that, yes. Inamura and Briggs are an interesting team, but they really haven't done a lot, and it would be, in my opinion, crazy to take the belts off Fraxium right now to these guys.
Yeah,
it needs to be someone that's built a big story, a big deal when Fraxium loses. This is not it.
Agreed. Ethan Page versus Javon. I took Javon.
I also said
that's the way to go.
I already said it's Javon. I don't think you can have him like you broke the guy's jaw. He had it wired shut. Blah blah blah. Like I think Ethan is not long for main roster.
And he could get a win back if he needs to, and then you build to like a bigger third match if you really want to. But yeah, I could see.
Also pretty confident in that one.
Yeah, I agreed. The strap match, Trick and Thorpe.
I forgot.
Figured it's Trick. Like I
didn't even mention that was happening. There must have been some reference to it on NXT this week, but I
feel like it's Trick because I don't know. I don't know if they're doing much with Thorpe.
It's Trick. I agree. Although, is this Thorpe's type of match or blah blah blah? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I don't know.
I really, unless Trick's on his way out and they want to elevate Thorpe, but I don't think the Thorpe thing is working. So
not even that. You can't have Trick up there. We already have Jey Uso, and we don't need another too overpopular, untalented guy populating the main roster.
And can you, if they think people watch NXT, can they have him come up with his last, like he lost to Eddie Thorpe, right? So I agree.
That's true.
I'm taking Trick. I don't think we're going to have any differences on this one.
The women's title four-way, Julia, Perez, Bailey, Jade. It's Julia. She just won the title.
Julia pins Cora Jade.
Bailey's doing things on main roster.
Yes.
Perez is also on main roster now.
Right.
Jade's not winning.
So I think that's literally they stapled Cora Jade to this match, as we talked about, just to take the pin.
Because I feel like earlier you could have had Perez take the pin, but now there's bigger things for her. Like she has a chamber qualifier the Monday after. So.
And apparently reports are, right, they've had their eye on Perez getting to main roster, but they're
I
waiting
actually respect that they did that because a lot of times they'll come up without plans, and like Blair Davenport, you're done.
And so I think they think Perez is legit, and they waited until they had something for her.
Because that never would have happened in the McMahon regime.
Julia is not losing yet. She is pinning Cora Jade.
Yeah, I would almost bet on the exact result too. Then we got Femi versus Theory versus Waller for the NXT Championship.
Obviously, Femi.
Yeah, I'm going to take Theory. I'm just kidding. It's going to be Oba.
And I do you think that there's some splintering of...
I feel like we definitely heavily tease it here. I feel like that's almost entirely why we're doing this.
Does Oba pin both or stack them?
Could.
Yeah.
Because other than the fact that the division's bare, why would you choose these guys?
I agree.
Like, other than the fact that Oba doesn't have a lot of great challengers, there's no reason to be choosing them.
And
you could have chosen, I would have chosen Babyface because I think Oba's more interesting as a monster heel.
And because Oba's kind of a tweener, it's interesting that maybe Theory's turning face. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
It felt that was the real vibe off that segment, but I don't think.
I definitely don't think Waller would turn face.
I don't think there's a universe where Oba loses here.
No, definitely not.
All those picks were easy. All right, let's talk about
AEW Grand Slam, the one I'm more interested in for sure.
Yeah.
We got Mercedes Moné versus Harley Cameron for the TBS title.
That's pretty easy.
I think Harley's been killing it. I just don't know if she's ready for a title. I don't see them halting the Moné train for her, at least.
No.
And definitely not now.
And now that she pointed out, like, I'm still learning, developing as a wrestler, this can be part of that story.
I agree.
Right?
It doesn't hurt her. It helps the story. And if she improves, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
But for now, it's Moné.
Agreed.
For sure. Mariah May versus Storm. I'm not even fully confident because I'm concerned.
This one's tough.
But I pray it's not Storm. I can't do it again. I cannot go through her title run again. I personally cannot handle this. Like, for all the flack Death Riders get, I think there's still some bright spots. And at least it's serious. You can say it's not always the most coherent or the best, but it's serious, so at least they treat it legitimately. Storm is ridiculous. I can't do it again. May has to win, so I'm just picking her because I can't not.
I'm picking it May as well, but both because it's what I want, but I think that's the better story. If you want to pursue this Toni Storm thing and she has to have a belt, then have her be the one to take out Moné.
I hate that too, but
at least it's less. But Mariah May is on a roll right now. You have built a star that has not been in WWE, and she is fantastic in all aspects.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the right decision. I don't want it, and I don't think it's the right decision to take the belt off of her, so I will take Mariah May.
I agree. I just can't do another Storm run.
Like, I'm not extremely confident, in that pick, but
I'm concerned.
We're in
Australia.
I'm better than 50-50 that I think May retains.
I agree.
I'll say that.
Then we get Okada defending the Continental title against Matthews. I'm going to take Okada. I love Matthews. I've always been a huge fan of his, and he's been more over lately. But I don't think he has much of a shot here. I would love it if I'm wrong.
And it should be a sweet match.
It should be awesome.
But I agree. Okada is not losing that title to Buddy at this point.
Which sucks because I would love it.
Again, I don't think it's a 0% chance Buddy wins, but it's like 11% or something. You know what I mean? So it's Okada.
Agreed. White and Copeland against Death Riders in the Brisbane Brawl, whatever. Copeland has no chance in hell of winning the title at Revolution, so he'll get his win here to build momentum. This will be a reoccurring theme.
And it's close to Jay White's home, right? Yeah. So I think so too. He's not winning the singles match, so he wins the tag match. I think it's kind of telegraphed. I'm pretty confident in that one as well.
Agreed.
Knowing how wrestling works, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think then what I should be the main event, probably the only one that's hard to pick, is Omega Powers versus the Callis Boys. It's Omega and Ospreay against Takeshita and Fletcher. So for me, I really feel like it could go either way. There's merit to either side winning, and either way, I can't really be mad. I would prefer the heels win because I love them both. I think there's a decent chance they do, as Fletcher beat Ospreay clean last year and Takeshita beat Omega back in 2023. So at least, like, unlike WWE, we have the precedent they're willing to put these guys over.
True.
The big guys, right? It's also a homecoming for Fletcher, which is always a factor. However, it's kind of Omega's return match. Like, they kind of glossed over it, but he did have a match on Maximum Carnage. But this feels like the big comeback match, right? Like, that match with Cage could have not happened, and this would pretty much be the same. So I feel like he gets the win for him and Ospreay. And he pins Takeshita to get a title shot at Revolution. So that's the match at Revolution. We get Omega and Takeshita 2. This time for Takeshita's title, and then we can also push momentum for Ospreay versus Fletcher 3. So I think the Omega Powers win here, and then Fletcher and Takeshita can get their big singles wins at Revolution.
True.
I think they should. Whether they do or not remains to be seen, but I think, like, I'd love for the heels to win here, but I feel like there's a better long-term plan here. So I think the Omega Powers win, and the heels can get, like, bigger wins the next show, because it won't be that long.
Is this the last match we're predicting?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you laid out a compelling case, and I don't disagree with you, I will take the heels again because I feel like it could go either way, and I don't want to have the exact same picks for two pay-per-views.
That's fair.
I will take Takeshita.
That's probably the best one to go out on a limb on because I could see you being
right. I feel like it's the only one that you can kind of go out on a limb on either show.
Reasonably speaking, yeah.
So hopefully one or both of those shows, I think it's much more likely that it's the AEW one, is really good, and maybe...